There's borrowed time. I can't really do anything about it. Instantly back into gen. But he has borrowed time, so it doesn't matter. I'm done. I don't even want to. I'm done playing killer. I'm just going to go play survivor the rest of the day. There's no point. There's actually just 0 point in playing this game. Zero is just 0 point. Like, what is the fucking point of playing the game as a killer? Like, no, I actually, like, I'm done with killer. I'm done with it. I'm done with playing killer. There's literally no point in playing killer. I mean, when the survivors don't even have to be scared and they're in your fucking face doing gens and stuff, like, legitimately, what is the fucking point? They actually ruined killer. There's 0 fucking fun.
In this video, I'm going to be explaining what I call the meat grinder effect and how it's going to cause a lot of killers to quit playing DBD. Now, I already made a video giving my advice on how to play killer and still have fun at any MMR, but this video is going to be more pragmatic. So to start, this line is going to represent the MMR in the game. This end being the highest MMR obtainable. At the top end, on the killer side, we have the stretched res, filters enabled, slugging nurses and blights who go for one hook. This is a very small group of players. At the top end of the survivor MMR, we have the super sweaty survive with friends. No weak links whatsoever. This group is much larger than the other. But there is a small overlap of extremely sweaty killers who, like the survivor side, are going to run a lot of meta perks. The majority of time these groups meet each other, the survivors win or draw. In this case, I'm going to count a win as 3 to 4 escapes and a draw as 2 escapes. At every point, they are one mistake or bad chase away from throwing the entire match. Before skill-based matchmaking, these killers would get their breaks by going up against more reasonably paced survivors in their next match. Going lower, I'm going to call this the competitive zone of MMR. Here, players are still threats, but they're also human and they make mistakes. On the survivor side, you'll see top tier solo survivors and swifts with weak links in them. Basically, people that are still mostly prioritizing fun. On the killer side, you'll see either bad killers with really strong meta builds or great killers who have non-meta builds. After this point, it basically just ripples down and down until you get all the way to the ultra casual. So before, there was a healthy balance of competition. However, since the inclusion of SBMM, the ultra sweaty meta killers and even the highest MMR slugging killers, when the new boon comes out, are quitting killer in one way or another, either entirely, through smurfing, or switching to survivor. So what I'm predicting is going to happen, and I think is already starting to happen, is that MMR is going to turn into a conveyor belt that is basically going to feed killers to the highest MMR survivors. The more killers that get fed into this meat grinder, the more rapidly killers are going to start quitting at every level because it ripples all the way down. See, the way SBMM works to keep from matchmaking taking literally forever is it matches the highest MMR survivor team with the highest currently available killer. So you're seeing the early stages of this now. The top sweaty meta killers are getting burnt out. The next tier of killers are filling their positions, but are significantly less capable of dealing with top MMR swifts, which leads to very high amounts of tunneling and camping, rage quitting, and eventually giving up. Some killers don't mind it, but for the majority of players, it's not fun to play that way. When you feel like the game is forcing you to play in a boring way, you generally don't even feel good when you win anyway. Speaking personally, a big factor of playing killer for me is the satisfaction of winning while also playing in a fun and legit way, so it feels earned, not cheap. Now, this meat grinder can work in both ways. After all, this is an asymmetrical game. Buffing the hell out of the killers or nerfing survive with friends will just have the opposite effect, which is pointless. The idea is to fix the problem, not replace it with a new one. Now, I have my own ideas on how they could balance DBD at the high end that would have very little ripple effect on the lower MMR players, But if Behavior is interested in those ideas, then they can go ahead and subscribe to my OnlyFans account.
0 point if you can't 4K every game. It's not about 4King every game, dude. The game should not be over in 5 fucking minutes. 5 minutes. What are you supposed to fucking do? Equip Noed. Bro, you're so delusional if you feel like the game should just come down to me using Noed and getting some gimmick kills at the end. You quit chases faster. You know what? Yeah, Killer's just OP. I'm just terrible at it. That's why I'm going to go play Survivor, because Killer's so overpowered that I'm just going to play Survivor so I can really show how good I am. There's no point in playing OP Killers. They're really just so OP that there's no point. So I'm gonna challenge myself playing Survivor.